Hidden Black History, Bass Reeves the real Lone Ranger. Hooves thunder across Indian Territory S red dust, a black man in a silver saddle hunts outlaws where law dares not tread. His name is Bass Reeves, born in chains, forged in freedom, yet erased from the tales of the Wild West. Hollywood crowned a masked cowboy, but the true legend wore no mask, only the scars of slavery and the badge of justice. Welcome to Hidden Black History, where we unearth Africa's unbreakable legacy. Today, we ride with Bass Reeves, the real Lone Ranger who tamed a lawless frontier. In a slave cabina's dim glow, a boy learns to shoot straighter than his master's weep. His aim, honed by survival, will one day redraw the lines of justice. 1838, Crawford County, Arkansas, Bass Reeves enters the world enslaved, property of William Reeves, a planter with a sprawling spread along the Arkansas River. His mother, Paralee, toils in fields, his father, likely a fellow slave, vanishes from records. The cabin, rough-hewn logs chinked with mud, cradles a family bound by love, not freedom. Arkansas, a frontier state since 1836, thrives on cotton and coercion. 5,000 enslaved souls fuel its economy by 1840. Bass, named perhaps for a biblical echo or African rhythm, grows under slavery's iron yoke. William Reeves, a politician with ambitions, moves his household to Grayson County, Texas, by the 1840s. Bass, a lanky youth, works as a water carrier, then field hand, his hands calloused but eyes sharp. His master's son, George Reeves, a future Confederate colonel, takes him as a personal servant. George, volatile and vain, teaches Bass to shoot target practice with rifles, a skill slaves rarely touch. Bass's precision stuns, he fells game with a single shot, outpacing George's boasts. This talent, born of necessity, foreshadows his destiny. Texas in the 1840s is a cauldron of tension. Mexican-American war drums beat, Comanche raids flare along the Red River. Enslaved communities, though silenced, pulse with resistance. Whispered spirituals, covert escapes north via the Underground Railroad. Bass absorbs these currents, his mind a ledger of survival. By 1850, Texas holds 58,000 enslaved, 27% of its population. Grayson County's plantations mirror Arkansas's brutality. Whipping scar bodies, runaways face hounds. Bass, now a strapping 6 €2 navigates this world with quiet defiance. The Civil War erupts in 1861, fracturing the Reeves household. George enlists in the Confederate 11th Texas Cavalry, dragging Bass, then 23, as a body servant. Camp life is grim. Bass tends horses, polishes boots, and dodges bullets in skirmishes across Indian Territory. Modern Oklahoma, a haven for displaced tribes like Cherokee and Creek. Here, Bass encounters native cultures, learning trails and tracking from Creek scouts. Rumors swirl of his escape trigger, a card game brawl with George in 1862 or 1863. Bass, fed up with abuse, reportedly beats his master and flees. No record confirms. Oral Talisa gathered later by historians like Art Bertone paint a fugitive sprinting north. Bass finds refuge among the Seminole and Creek in Indian Territory. These tribes, some holding slaves yet others abolitionist, shelter runaways. Bass hones survival, hunting, tracking, speaking smatterings of Muskogee. He lives in Wattleland dog huts, learning tribal justicia councils, not courts. This crucible sharpens his instincts, forging a lawman before the badge. By 1863, Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation ripples, but Texas defies, freedom remains a whisper. War's end in 1865 brings the 13th Amendment. Bass, now free, returns to Arkansas, marrying Jenny, a free black woman, in 1864. They settle in Van Buren, farming leased land. 10 children follow, their Namisa Euro, Sally, Robert, Alyssa Euro, etched in census rolls. Base labors, crops, odd jobs, occasional scout work for Union troops. His literacy, likely self-taught, aids dealings, his marksmanship draws local awe. By 1870, Indian Territory Festosa Euro, outlaws, whiskey runners, and tribal disputes defy federal reach. Fort Smith, Arkansas, emerges as a judicial hub under Judge Isaac Parker, the Euro hanging judge Euro appointed in 1875. Parker seeks deputies for the Western District of Arkansas, covering 74,000 square miles of Indian Territory. Bass, known for grit and guns kill, catches the eye of U.S. Marshal James Fagan. In 1875, at 37, Bass Reeves is sworn in Euro, one of the first Black Deputy U.S. Marshals west of the Mississippi. His badge, a tin star, gleams against Historia Euro's shadow. Armed with a Colt revolver and Winchester rifle, he rides into a land where law is a suggestion, not a rule. The frontier awaits its unsung titan. A black marshal gallops through Indian Territory Euro's badlands, where every shadow hides a Guna Euro, and every arrest defies an empire built on his chains. 1875, Fort Smith, Bass Reeves, badge pin, mounts a silver gray horse, his silhouette cutting against Oklahoma Euro's red hills. Indian Territory, a patchwork of 5 Tribisa Euro, Lanza Euro, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, Seminole Euro, spans 70,000 square miles, a lawless expanse. Outlaws flourish, train robbers, cattle rustlers, murderers fleeing eastern courts. Federal law, stretched thin, relies on deputies like Bass. His jurisdiction, under Judge Parker, is a crucible. 200 deputies will die by 1907, ambushed or betrayed. Bass Euro's arsenal is Legenda Euro, dual Colt .45s, a Winchester 1873, and a mind sharper than steel. Illiterate in legal texts but fluent in survival, he memorizes warrants, tracking fugitives across creeks and canyons. His strength, honed by Slaveria Euro's labor, lets him wrestle men to submission. His 6 Euro 2 Euro frame intimidates. Yet cunning defines him. Discasisa Euro, farmer, preacher, drifter Euro, let him infiltrate outlaw camps. He poses as a fugitive, sharing campfires, only to snap cuffs at dawn. Oral histories credit him with 3,000 arrests over 32 years, 14 killed in gunfights Euro, numbers unmatched. The Territory Euro's diversity shapes his work. Tribes, displaced by the Trail of Tears, govern semi-autonomously, their light horse police clashing with federal aims. Bass, fluent in Creek and Cherokee phrases, negotiates with tribal leaders. He respects their courts, earning trust where white deputies fail. Black freedmen, many ex-slaves of tribes, form communities. Bass recruits them as posse men, building loyalty. His bilingualism Euro, English and native Tungesa Euro, bridges worlds. Cases stack. In 1876, he captures the notorious Bynum gang, horse thieves terrorizing the Chickasaw Nation. He tracks them 200 miles, sleeping in gullies, dodging ambushes. At Muskogee, he corners them, cuffs snapping in moonlight. Another tale, Bob Dozier, a murderer, eludes for years. Bass, disguised as a tramp, tricks Dozier into a card game, arresting him mid-bluff. His precision Euro, shooting hats off fleeing outlaws Euro, spawns myths. Locals whisper, Bass never misses. Danger is constant. In 1878, a posse betrays him, tipping off outlaws for coin. Bass, ambushed near the Canadian River, kills 2, escapes bleeding. His Paya Euro $2 per arrest, plus mileage Euro, barely sustains Jenny and their growing brood. Yet duty drives him. He delivers prisoners to Fort Smith Euro's hellish jail, a Euro Ohel on the border a Euro where Parker Euro's gallows await. Of 79 hanged by 1896, Bass Euro's captures number dozens. Racial slights shadow his valor. White deputies scorn his badge, newspapers omit his name, crediting a Marshal. In 1880, he is falsely accused of killing a white Passamani in jail, then acquitted when evidence clears him. Resilience holds, Bass prays nightly, a Methodist, grounding himself in faith. Jenny, his anchor, manages their farm, raising children through his months-long rides. By 1885, Bass' legend grows. Dime novels romanticize white marshals. Bass, a black titan, goes unsung. Yet whispers of a Lone Ranger a solitary lawman on a silver horse echo his rhymes. Historians like Burton later argue, Bass, not fiction, birthed the myth. His badge, forged in a nation healing from slavery, marks a frontier where justice, briefly, outran prejudice. In a land where bullets write the law, one black Marshal shadow looms larger than death. Every outlaw knows, cross Bass Reeves, and the earth itself betrays you. 1880s, Indian Territory, Bass Reeves, now 40s, is a specter to criminals. His tally climbs to 1,500 arrests by 1887, from bootleggers to killers. The territory, a maze of ravines and rivers, shelters desperados like Ned Christie, a Cherokee outlaw. Bass pursues relentlessly, tracking Christie's band through 1883's Kiamishi Mountains. Christie escapes, but Bass bags his lieutenant, cuffs glinting in firelight. His method, study terrain, interrogate locals, strike at dusk when outlaws drink. His disguises are theater. In 1884, Bass, posing as a preacher, infiltrates a moonshine ring near Atoka. He preaches hellfire, then draws irons, arresting 6. Another time, as a cattle drover, he joins a rustler camp, sharing beans until midnight, then shackles the lot. His posse often black freedmen or native scouts moves like ghosts. He trains them, shoot to wound, aim for hats or hands. His kills, 14 by Carrera end, are last resorts each haunts him, a devout man sparing life when he can. Judge Parker court, Fort Smith Iron Fist, relies on Bass. By 1885, Parker tries 1,500 cases yearly, Bass' prisoners pack dockets. He hauls in the Brunter brothers, murderers, after a 300-mile chase in 1886. Their trial, splashed in the Fort Smith elevator, omits Bass' name. Editorial bias erases black valor. Yet locals know, Bass, on his silver horse, is untouchable. His Winchester, sighted to 500 yards, fells targets with surgical calm. Peril stalks. In 1887, Bass arrests Jim Webb, a killer, near McAllister. Webb, sprung by allies, ambushes Bass' camp. Bass, grazed by a bullet, returns fiery Webb falls, one of his 14. The territory lawlessness spikes. 1889 Oklahoma land rush draws white settlers, escalating tribal tensions. Bass navigates, mediating with Choctaw chiefs, dodging settler mobs who spit Black Lomana like a curse. Family anchors him. Jenny, now raising 8 children, faces threats outlaws target Deputy homes. Bass builds a fortified cabin in Van Buren, windows barred, a rifle by the door. His eldest, Robert, joins posses by 1888, learning his father's craft. Community sustains, black churches in Muskogee host Bass, singing spirituals that echo his Mothra voice. He donates pay to freedmen schools, a nod to his own literacy struggles. Racial barriers persist. In 1889, Bass is tried again false murder charge, a Kuka death during an arrest. Jailed 5 months, he acquitted, white accusers recant. The ordeal scars, newspapers like the Muskogee Phoenix sneer at colored marshals. Yet Bass rides on, his badge a shield. By 1890, his arrests near 2,000, a record Parker praises privately but papers ignore. Cultural ripples emerge. Dime novels like The Lone Star Ranger, 1880s, craft white heroes, but Bass S. Pizza Euro, Lone Rides, Silver Horse, Native Aliisa Euro mirror their plots. Historians like Vonda Nelson later argue, Bass S. life, whispered in saloons, shaped the Euro Lone Ranger Euro mythos, debuted 1933 on radio. His anonymity, a theft by Historia Euro-S pen, stings deeper than bullets. As the Frontier Euro-S wild heart slows, a black Marshal Euro-S star burns brightest to Euro, yet Historia Euro-S ink, dipped in prejudice, dims his name while stealing his legend. 1890s, Indian Territory, Bass Reeves, graying at 50, rides undaunted. His tally Euro, 500 arrests by 1895 a Euro, carves a mythos in a land shrinking under progress. Railroads pierce the territory, statehood looms for Oklahoma by 1907. Outlaws dwindle, but Bass hunts, the Dalton Gonga Euro-S remnants, whiskey peddlers, land swindlers. In 1893, he captures Bell Star Euro-S associate, Jim July, after a 400-mile trek, dodging gunfire in Creek Nation. His methods evolve. Bass, now using maps and telegraphs, tracks via Informanza Euro, freedmen, barkeeps, tribal elders. His Discasisa Euro, beggar, Gamblera Euro remains sharp. In 1894, posing as a shoemaker, he nabs a cattle thief in Tulsa, cuffs hidden in a toolbox. His posse, loyal to a fault, includes son Robert, now a deputy. Bass S. rule, no bribes, no mercy for corruption. He arrests a white marshal for extortion in 1895, a rare act sparking threats. Judge Parker S. death in 1896 shifts tides. New judges, less zealous, curb hangings, Bass S. rolls soft tensa Euro, more escorts, fewer chases. Yet danger lingers. In 1897, Euro S shot in the leg near Eufaula, recovering for months. Jenny, his rock, nurses him, their children, some married, scatter across Arkansas. Bass, nearing 60, leans on Fife Euro, Methodist hymns soothe his scars. Racial erasure deepens. The Indian chieftain praises a Euro Marshal's Euro, but skips Bass S name. White deputies claim his feats, dime novels glorify Rooster Cogburn, a fictional echo. Bass S anonymity, a byproduct of Jim Crow S rise, Festersa Euro, Oklahoma S 1907 statehood brings segregation laws, barring black marshals. In 1907, at 69, Bass retires, his badge surrendered. Over 32 years, 3,000 arrests, 14 kills, 0 convictions against Hema Euro, a record untarnished. Retirement brings Muskogee, Oklahoma. Bass joins the police force briefly, patrolling streets, a lion caged. Health fails, Brida S disease, kidney failure, grips him by 1909. He dies January 1910, age 71, buried in an unmarked Gravy Euro, family funds short, Historia S neglect complete. Jenny outlives him, passing in 1920. No statues rise, newspapers print brief obituaries, calling him a Euro e and Negro deputy. Legacy stirs slowly. 1930s radio births the Lone Ranger Euro, Silver Horse, Native Ally Tonto, Masked Justice. Historians like Art Burton, 2006, Black Gun, Silver Star, connect dots, Bass S life mirrors the myth. Films like Posse, 1993, Nod, Statues Rise in Fort Smith, 2012. Yet schoolbooks lag, favoring Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. Bass S erasure, a wound of structural racism, festers. His impact endures, black lawmen like Grant Johnson, Bass S proto-copyright GA copyright, carry his torch. Tribal trust he built shapes Oklahoma S mixed communities. Every modern sheriff, tracing to frontier marshals, owes his shadow. Bass, born in chains, carved Freedom Euro-S edgy Euro, a Titan history tried to bury. A masked hero rides across America Euro-S airwaves, his silver horse a ghost of a black Marshal Euro-S truth Euro, stolen by fiction, now reclaimed by Historia Euro-S relentless dig. 1910, Muskogee, Bass Reeves Euro-S heart stills, but his echo gallops. His 3,000 arrests, 32 years of service, forge a frontier mythos. Yet the 20th century dawns cruel Euro, Jim Crow laws choke Oklahoma, erasing black pioneers. The Lone Ranger, born 1933 on WXYZ Radio, Detroit, dons a masked bass never needed. Creator George Trendle, seeking a Euro-enable cowboy, a Euro crafts John Reed, a white Texas Ranger. Tonto, his native sidekick, mirrors Bass Euro-S Creek allies, the silver horse echoes his steed. Historiansa Euro, Burton, Nelsona Euro, argue, Bass Euro-S oral tales, swapped in saloons, seeded this fiction. No credit given, his name fades. The Lone Ranger booms, 1,938 serials, 1949 TV, 2013 film. Each iteration widens Bass Euro-S shadowy Euro, right Euro-S mask a metaphor for erasure. Dime novels of the 1880s, like Deadwood Dick, had already romanticized white marshals. Bass, a black giant, was too old for their pages. Structural racism Euro, publishing, media, curricula Euro, buries him. By 1950, kids cheer a fictional ranger while Bass Euro-S grave, unmarked, sinks in Muskogee mud. Rediscovery sparks late. 1960s civil rights stir interest. Black scholars unearth Reeves in archives. 1980s, Oklahoma Historical Society publishes sketches. Bertoni Euro-S 2006 biography, Black Gun, Silver Star, cements Bass as the Lone Ranger Euro-S route, citing oral histories from freedmen, tribal records. 2012, Fort Smith erects a bronze statue Euro, Bass, hat-tipped, cold-drawn. Films like Bass Reeves, 2010, emerge, Netflix Euro-S The Harder They Fall, 2021, nods with Nat Lovey Euro-S tale. His feats resonate. Bass Euro-S 3,000 arrests, spanning 1875 to 1907, tamed a frontier where 200 deputies died. His Discasisa Euro, preacher, Trampa Euro, pioneered undercover work, his tribal alliances prefigured community policing. Black lawmen like Ezekiel Moore, inspired by Bass, patrolled post-Reconstruction South. His legacy, every deputy badge, every justice served in lawless lands. Yet gaps remain. No memoir exists Euro, Bass Euro-S illiteracy, a slavery scar, silenced his pen. Photographs, rare, show a stern giant, his voice, lost. Schools teach her, not Reeves, Hollywood prefers fiction. Modern parallels shine, vaccine equity debates echo one Zymus, Bass Euro-S justice mirrors calls for policing reform. His Liffey Euro, enslaved to enforcer Euro, proves African roots bend Historia Euro-S arc. 2025, Bass Euro-S name rises. Podcasts, YouTube channels like Hidden Black History amplify. Fort Smith Euro-S statue draws pilgrims, Muskogee seeks his grave. Every black sheriff, every fair trial, carries his iron. Bass Reeves, from Arkansas mud to silver saddle, reminds, legends don't Euro need masks when their truth burns bright. Theta Euro-S the saga of Bass Reeves Euro, a black marshal whose star outshone the frontier Euro-S darkest shadows. If his untold ride gripped you, smash that like button, subscribe to Hidden Black History for more African legacies unburied, and comment, which forgotten hero deserves our next spotlight. Dive into our playlist on black trailblazers who reshaped the world. Share this story witty Euro, history lives when we lift its veil. Peace, truth seekers. Until next time.